Hello and welcome to yet another episode of the nation's nautical authoritative television program, Nimasa This Week, the Voice of Maritime. Nimasa This Week is brought to you by the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, the nation's apex regulator and promoter of all of the activities within Nigeria's maritime domain. My name is Ubong Essien. As always, I will be your guide on this voyage.
You're watching Nimasa This Week, the voice of maritime in Nigeria. Please stay tuned.
Nimasa This Week, the voice of maritime, showing on these stations.
Welcome back. It's still Nimasa This Week, the voice of maritime, where everything we talk about here is about shipping. And did you know that 90% of all we consume, from medicines to foods to machinery, you name it, is delivered to us via shipping? Of course, because it is the cheapest and most efficient means of transportation globally. And that's why Nigeria is so blessed to be a coastal nation, because our entire coast from Lagos straight down to Calabar is a window to the Atlantic. On today's episode, as always, we begin with the Director General's diary. What has Dr. Bashir Jamoh, the DG of Nimasa, been up to? We'll take you to the Chief of Naval Staff Annual Conference held in Kano, where the DG delivered a very critical presentation on enhancing collaboration amongst maritime stakeholders for improved national maritime security. Security is indeed everybody's business. Thus, collaboration is an imperative. These were some of the key points that the DG stressed during his speech at that event. The DG also took out time to welcome into the maritime family the new Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Shippers Council, Honorable Emmanuel Jime. You got to find out more on his courtesy visit to the DG of Nimasa. There is Know Your Convention and all of our other regulars. So, if you're ready, let's anchor away.
The Director General of Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Dr. Bashir Jamoh, has restated the need for enhanced stakeholders' collaboration in tackling maritime security in Nigeria and the Gulf of Guinea. Dr. Jamoh made this call at the 2001 edition of the Chief of Naval Staff Annual Conference, which was held at the Coronation Hall of the Kano State Government House. The Nimasa DG observed that despite the potentials of the maritime sector in the area of job creation and revenue generation, the sector is undermined by maritime insecurity. He went on to list the drivers of insecurity.
If you check 10 years ago, the number of ship turned around within the Nigerian Shoal Exclusive Economic Zone, or you check the Gulf of Guinea, you will see that there are significant increase in the number of ships. As this population increase, so many things will come to bear. The issue of economic condition will come to full view, and then the individuals you have, they will need to eat, they will need shelter, they will need to clothes, they need work. In the absence of each and every one of those elements, then there is going to be a problem. The next thing has to do with the debilitating leadership of many of the 23 states of the region. You see, in the Gulf of Guinea today, if you take a statistical analysis and see the economic condition of the 23 states we have, or countries we have, you can't have any country that can beat Nigeria. So in so doing, the issue here is that how do we come together with the powerful economic conditions of Nigeria to help our other countries? What leaders of those 23 countries in the Gulf of Guinea have to put on a table to see we achieve the maximum security within the Gulf of Guinea?
The Nimasa boss said that the collaboration among stakeholders is critical and pointed out the 5 clusters of Nigerian maritime collaboration.
Armed forces, these are the key actors, which include the National Security Advisor Group, the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Navy, the Nigerian Air Force. Apart from the armed forces, then the non-military, that is paramilitary. We have those groups which include custom, police, immigration, and DLE. The next group is MDS, Ministry, Department, and Agencies, disaster management agencies. You find, accident, search and rescue, regulatory agencies. So you can see we are now seeing the gap in terms of collaboration. So in what this fora, this summit tend to address, we have to see how we can start bridging this gap. All those people, we have to bring them on board.
Dr. Jamoh listed some collaborative efforts by the agency to address maritime insecurity to include the implementation of Deep Blue Project, community engagements, collaboration with CEOs of maritime industry known as the Joint Maritime Industry Working Group, engagements with security forces such as the Nigerian Navy, the Nigerian Army, the Nigerian Air Force, the Nigerian Police, the Nigerian Customs Service, and the Nigerian Immigration Service, as well as the Gulf of Guinea Maritime Collaboration Forum, shared awareness and deconfliction. Dr. Jamoh advised against agencies' rivalry and suggested active collaboration in trust and sincerity in the management of the Nigerian maritime industry.
Working together is therefore a vital approach to defend our seas. Our sea must be defended, not only by Nigerian Navy, by all Nigerians.
The Minister of Defense, Major General Bashir Magashi, on the occasion reassured that the security and safety of Nigeria's maritime territory would remain a priority to the federal government. At the conference, a Naval Appreciation Award was presented to Dr. Bashir Jamoh by the Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral A.Z. Gambo, for his consistent and collaborative efforts at addressing maritime insecurity issues in Nigeria. The Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Shippers Council, Honorable Emmanuel Jime, with some members of its executive team, were at the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency headquarters in Lagos to pay a courtesy visit to the Director General of Nimasa, Dr. Bashir Jamoh. In his opening remarks, the Executive Secretary of the Nigerian Shippers Council, Honorable Emmanuel Jime, called for greater collaboration among relevant government agencies, especially in the maritime sector, to enable the country derive the full economic benefits of the sector.
Interagency cooperation, my DG, is an equally important aspect that I feel is key for us to have a conversation on and to discuss. When I got into office a few days ago, a few weeks ago, my predecessor in his handover notes advised me about the importance and the need to engage with stakeholders, and especially in the area of interagency cooperation. And so, as I said, this visit is the beginning in my chapter of ensuring that during my time here as Chief Executive Officer of the Shippers Council, that the progress that has already been made with regards to how the agencies have interrelated and cooperated, that will continue along those lines in order to further the partnerships that we have.
The Executive Secretary also touched on port digitalization, cabotage implementation, joint enforcements, shipping costs, other issues that are of great concern to the maritime sector. Responding, Dr. Jamoh officially welcomed the Shippers Council boss into the maritime sector while assuring him of his support and that of the agencies towards the growth of the maritime sector.
We are always available to give our own maximum cooperations for you to succeed. If you succeed, we all succeed. Yeah. And if you fail, we all fail. So it's not an issue of Shippers Council, Nimasa or AMPA. It's issue of Nigeria. And we are all working for Nigeria. And we must make sure that we achieve that period. We welcome you on behalf of the governing board, the management and executive management of Nimasa, to the family of the maritime industry in Nigeria, and we assure you that we are always ready to give you our own full weight cooperation for the development of shipping in Nigeria.
The DG Nimasa expressed strong confidence that a sustained reduction in reported cases of piracy and other maritime crimes on Nigerian waters, coupled with continued engagement with global players in the industry, would lead to the removal of war risk insurance premium imposed on Nigeria-bound cargoes by international underwriters and multinational shipping lines.
If you go through the report of IMB report, you will see that so many zones, they have much higher risk than Nigeria in the second quarter of this year. So what made them not to pay war risk insurance, and Nigeria should pay war risk insurance? So this is something that we have to tackle. I am coming to believe that we don't have to sit down in Nigeria, continue to shout and make noise. We have to go back, we have to take our own case before them in the Global Shippers Forum to tell them that, look, this is the situation. We have been working hard to ensure that we sustain the tempo. And while we are doing that, let us have an official position of the milestone they want us to achieve, what we achieved so far, and what they can do. I believe before we come back, we'll come back with so many things in the interest of the country and in the interest of the shipper.
At the end of the interaction, souvenirs were exchanged to commemorate the visit. The Director General of Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, Nimasa, played host to Nigerian Army Corps of Supply and Transport Delegation led by the Commander, Major General Bolaji Salami, at the agency headquarters in Lagos. In his remarks, Major General Salami said that they are the agency to further cooperation between the Corps and Nimasa, while commending the DG for his support to the Corps and the Nigerian maritime sector.
I want to use this opportunity to thank you for the unwavering support you have been giving to my Corps. But we equally have some other departments and agencies that are deploying the wharf, as well as carrying out some security in the maritime areas offshore. Like we have the Nigerian Army Boat Battalion in Calabar and the Nigerian Army Port Clearing Company here in Port Clearing Battalion here in Apapa Wharf. So we have a lot to do with organizations.
Responding, Dr. Jamoh welcomed the officers, stating that the agency cannot achieve much without the support and cooperation of the nation's armed forces, and thanked the Army for their cooperation over the years.
Nigerian Army personnel, they are part of the team manning the COI Center. And a number of your personnel, they are part of the deep blue projects in terms of implementation. And you can see by your opposite, you can see a commando in Nigerian Navy who is permanently here. His posting is permanently here. He's commanding a maritime guide command.
The Nimasa boss stated that the agency will continue to cooperate with the Corps, especially in the area of firefighting and training.
It's our duty also to contribute our own quota. In contributing our own quota, I would like to specifically mention to you that the general mentioned the fire service issue. We have fire service trucks here. I think there are over 7 years now without utilizations. So we intend to put the sheds and bring them out from where we kept them so that public can use it. So the Nigerian Army also, we can now interface. You can give us suggestions because we can't avoid the issue of this catastrophe in terms of war, fire, anytime. Also, the issue of training, we also have a training school that is a need for us to interface, where your officials need to have an industry knowledge. What we intend to do in a very short while from now is to see that those people who do not have industry-based experience, they come and learn certain things from our own maritime training academy at the resource center.
To commemorate the visit, souvenirs were exchanged between the corps commander and the DG of Nimasa with group photographs. Introducing the Nimasa Distress Response Call Lines for all maritime stakeholders, ship owners, seafarers, ship captains. Whatever your challenge or distress in the Nigerian maritime domain, please call 0803 0685 167, 0708 0005 956, 0700 0700 010. If you can't reach us on these lines, please call 0700 0700 020, 0700 0700 030. Also via VHF Radio Channel 16. Call and Nimasa will respond.
Hello viewers, welcome to another segment of Know Your Conventions on Nimasa This Week, the Voice of Maritime. Last edition, we spoke about the International Convention on the Control and Management of Ships' Ballast Water and Sediments 2004. Today, we'll be talking about the CONSAC Convention that regulates maritime traffic. And to have that conversation here with me today is Captain Kennedy Fematonga, Chief Nautical Surveyor. You're welcome to the segment, sir.
Thank you for having me on the segment.
You're welcome. And Liam Simon, Accident Investigation Officer. You're welcome to the segment also.
Thank you very much for having me.
So, Captain Kennedy, what exactly is the CONSAC Convention? I mean, what's the full meaning of CONSAC Convention?
CONSAC Convention is about international regulation for preventing collision at sea. Just like we have traffic regulation on the land, so also we have this convention that regulates the activities of vessels upon the high seas. And this convention was adopted in 20th of October 1972, and it came into force in 15th July 1977.
So generally, the convention is designed to ensure or prevent accidents at sea and safety of navigation.
Just like on land, where you have traffic lights and traffic regulations, we also have at sea this convention, which is on the regulation for preventing collision at sea, because without this regulation, you will find out that we'll be recording collision incidences over and over again. So this regulation is in place in order to avoid collision at sea
and guarantee the safety
and
of
guarantee the
navigation.
safety of lives and property.
Mr. Simon, how is this convention applied?
So if you look at rule number 1 of this convention, it talks about the application. And what the rule says is that this convention shall apply to all vessels navigable on the high seas and on all waters connected to and are being navigated by seagoing vessels. So you look at the term all vessels.
So regardless of gross tonnage, it applies to all vessels.
It applies to all of them. And then when you look at all waters connected to the high seas, it means it applies to inland waterways, it applies to lakes, all that are connected to the high seas. If you look at the Part B of this convention, it gives the state or the flag state the authority to make its own rules that can govern its navigation on its inland waterways.
In terms of applicability, is applicable on international waters or high seas, and also if the country wishes to apply it in its inland waters. And that's the Part B you just spoke about.
Exactly. The Part B gives every country the authority to be able to make its own rule that will guide navigation on its inland waterways.
So Captain Kennedy, having established application or applicability of the convention, who implements? What are the roles, or what roles are assigned under the convention? Who is responsible for ensuring implementation of this convention or the rules under the convention?
This convention, as we all know, is an IMO convention, and Nimasa is the sole agency responsible for implementing all IMO conventions. And Nimasa has a key role in ensuring that these conventions are complied, because Nimasa is a party to IMO. And when this regulation was adopted, Nimasa is part of it. And that is why Nimasa domesticated this convention into our national laws so that it can be fully implemented, and where defaulters are found, they can be prosecuted.
Okay. Mr. Simon, in terms of, we're still speaking on implementation now, what are the roles assigned? I mean, if, for instance, on the road, I know as a driver on the road, I have to ensure that my lights are working, I'm using my rear mirrors, my side mirrors are functioning. Under the CONSAC Convention, what roles are assigned to stakeholders in the shipping industry?
Okay, like he rightly spoke about the flag state, Nimasa, there are also roles covered under Rule 2 of the convention, which talks about responsibilities. And here, the parties involved are the owner of the vessel and the ship and its crew. So the owner has responsibility to ensure that his ship is seaworthy. He has to ensure that everything that is required to comply with these regulations are available. For instance, do we have the right sounding appliance on board that conforms with the type and size of the vessel? Do we have backup batteries so that the vessel can be able to display the required light in case the vessel is not under command? Do we have on board, the lights, are they conforming with the arc and range of visibilities required by the regulations? So the owner has a role to ensure that his ship is fit and complies with the regulation. Again, he also has to look at the crew. Are the crew well qualified? Are they certified? Are they competent? Are they aware of the provisions of these regulations? So all these have to be put into consideration. And of course, like he said, the administration has the overall role to ensure that all these parties comply with the convention.
Sure.
Welcome back. It's still Nimasa this week, the voice of maritime. And I hope you've enjoyed the program so far and would like for you to continue the conversation with the Director General of Nimasa. All of his social media handles from Instagram to Facebook to LinkedIn are displayed currently on your screen. And of course, you can follow the DG on his weekly column in The Guardian, the Maritime Mandate column every Wednesday. And this week, the DG is talking about maritime security. You can find out more when you get to read his column on Maritime Mandate. Remember, our Nimasa official handles are also available for you to continue the conversation with us officially. And then for players, stakeholders, and those involved in one form of governance or the other in the Nigerian maritime space. The Nimasa official website remains your first port of call, especially for those who are trying to get into the maritime industry. Keep in mind that this industry is heavily regulated, as most of the rules of the road are a derivative from the IMO convention. Of course, the IMO is the International Maritime Organization, and Nimasa is a party to the IMO. Thank you for watching today's episode of Nimasa This Week, the Voice of Maritime. And we hope that your understanding of what Nimasa represents to the nation has greatly improved, especially as we begin to look in the direction of the more sustainable blue economy. Remember that the pessimist complains about the winds. The optimist expects the winds to change. However, the realist adjusts the sails. So, till I see you next time, stay on course. My name remains Ubong Essien. Bye-bye.